everyone, my name is Nicola. I am simply a stitcher. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's great to have you, and if you are returning, thank you for coming and spending some more time with me today. So today I'm going to do a stitch with me, and it's another new start. This is number 7. And this piece, Hannah did the wheel spin on my Flosstube, and we have this one. Hold on, let me get my pattern keeper one out. So I've got the cover photo, we'll show that, but no, it's too big for the screen. Just move that out of the way. This is Summer Sun. Artwork is by Lesley D McKenzie, and it is charted by Geckorouge and kitted by Geckorouge. So it's another one of my kit pile. It's some 25 count fabric, and I will be stitching this 1/1 full cross. I'm going to do a top left start. So the first stitch will be here, and then it goes partially into this square. And what I'm going to do is pick a thread, work the colour, work the thread through in whichever way it sort of happens on this one. So nothing rigid, no squares or anything like that. We're just going to crack on and see what we can do. Got a matching needle minder there as well. Love it when I get a new needle minder in a kit. So yeah, let's just adjust things. We'll get, oh crikey, Andy's had this flaming stand, you know. We'll get zoomed in. So this will be the area that I'll be stitching on, and let us get a cracking. I've got some comments to do today. I've had a number of comments over the last week. Okay. Because, as you guys will know, I've had a finish. No, that is not comfortable. Let me just readjust slightly. Sorry. Let's see. It's all very well and good having the camera if I can't see the actual work because the camera's in the way. Yeah, I've had a number of comments this week because we got She Sleeps to a finish. And if you'd joined me on the live stream that was on the 8th of February, you will have seen that completed live on the stream. So some of them, if they just simply say congratulations, I will just skip over those. But every comment has been read and responded to by a heart. So thank you all very much indeed. I was meant to have some more dental treatment this week, but I had a call from the dentist. The dentist himself had unfortunately had to cancel, so we haven't had any more treatment this week, but we will be continuing, and we have an additional appointment to make. But that's okay. I was sort of psyched up for it, but I'll be fine. It's just another few days to wait, just another few days. And that's what I keep telling myself, just another few days. So, yeah. So this will be out, it'll get 1,000 stitches, and then it'll come out on Sunday stream as usual. And, yeah, we will we'll get some stitching miles in on this one. My next focus for a finish is Pandemic. I will have worked on that on the Wednesday stream. I'm filming this on Wednesday morning, so tonight when I do the stream, I will have Pandemic in, because it isn't a million miles off. 11,500 stitches left. It does sound like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, yeah, it's not, to be fair. I've also got a model stitch ongoing. I can't add progress to my annual total yet because it's not Pattern Keeper compatible. So when I finish that, I will just add in those stitches onto Pattern Keeper, not onto Pattern Keeper, onto Stitch Pal. And then, you know, we'll see how much I've done, how many extra stitches I've done. So as a result, at the minute, I am slightly behind on my aim of 500,000 stitches this year. But because I'm not logging, it's not that I'm not doing the stitches, it's just that I'm not able to log them. We will be all good though, we'll get there. So, yeah, busy at work, lots going on, doing some more training. It just seems that every time I log on, there's another job at the moment to do, but it's the nature of the beast. The job that I do, it's quite a busy department, and it's just unfortunate that it's been unexpectedly busy today. Normally on an average day we might get 20 calls in the queue, we might get 10, you know, 15. It sort of tends to be relatively low numbers. And yesterday at one point we had 3 times that amount. We had 60 calls queuing, which is enormous. So yesterday was quite a tough day. There was a bit of reshuffling and rescheduling going on. I had a meeting book which I had to change, you know, just so that, you know, we could support and get the brokers the help that they needed. So yeah, busy old day. But yeah, I'm just carrying on, ploughing through. And yeah, I'm still utilising my time as much as I can for stitchy time. You know, how long is it till lunch kind of thing. I can do some stitching. Because, you know, stitching is my relaxation, it's my therapy, it's my way of coping, I suppose, with the world around me, as I get it is for a lot of people. I had a wonderful email this week from one of my viewers. I won't say who they were, but I had a wonderful email saying yes, they agreed with me, and, you know, stitching had essentially, you know, saved them as it has done for me. Kept them sane. You know, life can get rough. I was saying in the last one of these videos that my last sort of 20 years has been difficult, for one reason or another. There's been some absolutely wonderful moments, I'm not going to lie, but there've also been some crushing downs, some crushing lows, and yeah, it's not been easy. And stitching has helped with the balance more than anything. Life is all about balance. So as I said today, I do have some comments to go through, so we're going to get started on those because there are rather a lot. And my first comments we're going to start with Flosstube number 5. And Enid leaves me, it looks like a love bug. It's quite a cute little emoji. So thank you, Enid. Enid's one of my top commenters, comments an awful lot on my videos. And as I've said, even if it's just an emoji, it lets me know that you've seen it, you've viewed it, you've watched it, yeah, it's an interaction, and I know then that people are interacting with my work. So that's Enid. Then the next one is from Rosemary, and if you remember on Flosstube number 5, I still was under anaesthetic, so the anaesthetic had partially worn off. I could just about speak. I had this crazy idea that I was going to go to the dentist, have the treatment, and then come home and immediately film a Flosstube. Well, that wasn't happening. So I had to wait a few hours for the anaesthetic to wear off or wear down a little bit so that I could actually speak. And Rosemary here comments, you sound great for someone who's just had dental surgery. Take care and don't overdo. I certainly didn't. I did that Flosstube and then I pretty much stayed silent for the rest of the day. You know, one of them things, I try not to overdo it anyway. But yeah, it was a bit of a tough way of sort of speaking. Excuse me. Let's grab a drink. Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Cruises says, hi Nicola, I think that you sounded and looked and sounded fine. I love to see the wheel, and I think One to Rule Them All will be a lovely project, and good job helping Lauren. Thank you, Kelly. I did quite enjoy my start on One to Rule Them All. I've been enjoying all of my new starts. There isn't a single piece that I wouldn't pick up and work on at any given. Even with Ice Dragon, where I thought I'd done something wrong, so I frogged it and then looked at it again and I'd frogged out correct stitches. Even that, I would happily pick it up and work on it. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely love all of the pieces that I'm working on. Here comes Hannah. She's going to hear her working her way downstairs. Bless her, she's been up at night again with a toothache. Is it wearing off a little? Is it wearing off, the pain?
Well, the frozen pita breads help.
Okay.
Not that they're very frozen now.
Put them back in. Okay. So, bless her, she's been up in the night with toothache. It's never pleasant, is it? Okay. Sandy says, wow, Nicola, well done with your weight loss and awards. I love the Raven's Moon pattern, which is the Geckorouge kit that I was kindly gifted. I still need to do an unboxing type of thing on that, as well as the one for all his vanity. Time just runs away with me. She goes on to say, you've been very brave having dental treatment. I'm glad you had a great time at the retreat too. Thanks for sharing. Take care and happy stitching. Thank you, Sandy. Okay, that is the first 50 odd stitches in. Can I get to the top left corner now? I certainly can. Number 87. There are 90 colours in this piece. So it's quite colour palette rich and varied. but there's lots of golds and oranges mainly. But yeah, there's lots of colours in this one. Are you having some breakfast, Hannah?
Yeah,
All right. Okay. So, our lovely Joyce, Stitchy Dutchy, says, sounds like your dentist got to the root of the problem. I see what you did there. Yeah, and you know, after I'd had those teeth out on Monday night last, I had the best night's sleep I've had in an awful long time. So, you know, because whilst I wasn't in any pain, I was in some discomfort when I was sleeping, because very loose teeth will move around in the gum. And when I turned over, the teeth all moved. But yeah, I had a really good night's sleep, and yeah, I was quite surprised actually at how well that I did. When I had a phone call to cancel, the dental nurse who rang me said, how have you been? And I said, absolutely fine. And I told her, I said, you know, I slept very, very well. And she said, oh, that's brilliant. Well, yeah. Who knew? Our lovely Kashi, Danny, says, not able to be around much, but awesome work. She sleeps, looks stunning, almost there. What a feeling that must be. Take it steady, baby, okay? Make sure you've got some painkillers to take with you to work.
I've given my bag anyway, luckily.
Okay. You might want to pop those cocodamols in just in case it gets really bad, all right? Okay, so Carla Rebello comments in Portuguese, and thanks to Google Translate. She knows I use Google Translate, so she commented in Portuguese, so that I went across and translated it. And in Portuguese, I'm not going to try and say it because I will completely butcher it. But in English, she says, hi Nicola, just to say you are doing very well for someone who has had an anaesthetic. My native language is Portuguese. I understood everything that was said in Monday's video, released on Tuesday. For me, the British accent just got more British. I hope everything goes well with your dental treatment. Kisses. She said it was only written in Portuguese, so you can use the translator and learn a little Portuguese. Yeah. But, you know, at the moment, Carla, if I try to say those words in Portuguese, they would sound horrendous. I haven't looked at them at all. I haven't practiced them at all. But there we go. I can say the first word where she says, hi, Nicola. She says, hola, Nicola. And I absolutely don't mind seeing comments in other languages, because we do have these translation services which help wonderfully. And it means that no comment is left behind, that everybody gets a response in one way or another. Number 67. Go back to my comments page. Okay, so Stitcher says, bless you, I hope that it gets better soon. Yep, it certainly did rather quickly. So that is all good. Thank you, Kay. And then Sharon on last Tuesday's Flosstube says, so looking forward to Wednesday. Hope you're feeling okay. You looked and sounded fine. Your weight loss is amazing. It was probably the birthday cake that kickstarted, has given you another kickstart. Take care of yourself. Yeah, potentially. I honestly, I could have been knocked over by a feather when they told me that I'd lost 3 pounds. That for me was shocking. I didn't expect to lose that at all. And yeah, 2.5 pounds now away from goal, having lost another half a pound last week. We'll see what I've done this week, but I haven't been as good this week, so I'm not expecting a great loss if there's a loss at all, but we'll see. Okay. Judy says, what great progress you have been making. She Sleeps is stunning. Great weight loss this week. I hope you feel better with the dental work. Thank you, Judy. We are all good. Okay. Katinka says, always nice to see your progress. So many new starts. Hang in there with the teeth. It will get better. Yep, it will. Okay. And then last week when I did the new start on Coastal, Sandy says, comments and says, I almost missed this one. My daughter rudely interrupted my watching. Oh dear. And she says, I just realised that I hadn't watched. I love this new start. It's gorgeous. Thanks for sharing. Take care. Happy stitching. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, can't have you missing out on the videos. But yeah, it was nice to have Coastal. I think that's going to be a very popular piece the more it gets worked on. It's just such a lovely scene. Sally Ann says, I hope your dental treatment goes well. I love all the new starts and, of course, the old faithfuls. Not forgetting the finish this week. Can't wait to see the completed piece, and the frame sounds awesome. So, yeah, as you would have seen from this week's Flosstube, She Sleeps has had a bath and it's ready to go to the framer. I've just got to sort out with Andy when we can get it up there. Got a bit on this week. Lauren is in Paris for school and Andy's children are here this weekend, so unlikely to get it to the framers then, so probably into next week we might be able to whiz it over. But yeah, I can't wait to see it framed either. Karen says, you sound great. Take care of yourself. Lots of water. Always plenty of fluids in my diet anyway. I do drink quite a lot of fluid. Keeps me flushed. And I think that's probably why my skin looks so well lately, is because I've been drinking a lot of fluid. I do get eczema flares, and I haven't had one for a little while. I think that's probably because I am properly hydrated. The only thing is you guys will know, sometimes, especially on a live stream, the second I've ended that stop stream button, I literally have to run to the loo.
She does, I've seen her.
Yeah, you've witnessed it, Hannah, haven't you? You bear witness to that.
Walking like she's a said.
Yeah, that'll do, thank you. Walking doubled over, bent over.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. I can't think of the appropriate word.
Okay. Laurie last week says, looking forward to tomorrow, a special finish then, pandemic. That will be 2 finishes. I'm glad that you pulled the D1 ring. Yep. I won't do any more new starts though until the current batch of new starts on that wheel are all started. So it's going to be a little while before the 2 finish 1 start wheel gets underway. And I'm already stacking stuff up on that wheel. I've got a Mirabilia, I've got a Nora Corbett, I have Ollie's Vanity, I have the Geckorouge kit that I was gifted. I still haven't chosen a Geckorouge kit for my birthday. I've got a Chatelaine coming when I've picked it. I've got some funds to spend on stitchy stuff of my choice. Oh my days, I've got all sorts.
At this point, what haven't you got?
My sanity, because I have stash acquired beyond life expectancy right now. So yeah, I am definitely going to be starting to whip down as soon as possible. Because having 25 projects on the go is quite a lot, and if I can get it down to 15 or 12, I'd be very happy with that. Can't see that happening this year though, because I added in pandemic, so essentially I've got 26 projects this year, because pandemic was never on the list, but it'll be a finish soon enough. I've also been thinking about my night cafe and Daughter of the Deep. I think next year they're going to have a regular slot for stitches during the week. I think what I might do is dedicate my Friday, Saturday stitching to Night Cafe and aim to get in 2,500 stitches. and then on Sunday put in some I nearly said she sleeps then, some Daughter of the Deep stitches, at least 500. Which I think will be a good idea. It gets both of those pieces moving. Because 2,500 stitches a week on Night Cafe will be some significant progress by the end of the year. So yeah, it'll be 100,000 plus stitches if I can get 2,500 a week. Oh, I hate that when I bring my needle through and it's unthreaded. Come on. Okay, who vid this? And 287, I can't believe you're almost done with She Sleeps. Time goes by so quickly. Certainly does. And then Michelle says, Michelle Clark, so excited to see you finish She Sleeps in your live stream, but sadly I will have to wait to see it on replay because I will be at work. Time zone differences suck, but congratulations on the finish. Thank you, Michelle. Hope you did manage to catch up on replay. Okay. You have to get dressed?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'll be there for the finish, says Laura. The teeth and work will get there. To get there will be worth it. Looking forward to the new year. New you. Hang in there and we are here for you. Thank you, Laura. That means a lot. 86. And Michelle L says, praying you are able to heal quickly from the dental work. Thank you very much, Michelle. Yeah, I am on the mend. On the mend. Monique says, I love the New Start piece. Not a big fan of the Lord of the Rings, but the hubby is. Maybe one day I'll stitch it for him, but the black frightens me. There's not actually as much black as you'd think in that one. There's lots of black, 3799, I want to say. 801, you know, the dark brown colours. So it's not all inky black. There's actually only about 8,000 black stitches. I thought initially there were a lot more. But yeah, it's going to be lovely when it's done. I've seen it stitched, I've seen it finished in the Tilton Crafts group. So I am looking forward to seeing the finish. Of course, it will be a long way off yet. Catherine says amazing progress, because this is Catherine Stitches. Love your new starts and your upcoming new starts. Well done on getting the first dental treatment over with. The needle is always the worst. Hopefully you aren't too sore. I hope to be able to tune in for the live. Yeah. I actually, at one point, he'd given one injection and then he'd gone in to do another, and it touched a nerve, and I actually hit the dentist and pushed his hand out and the needle out. Very naughty of me, I know. And I have to apologise to him. I said, I'm so sorry. I really didn't intend to do that. It was just an instinctive reaction. And thankfully he did understand. And he's like, yeah, we do need to get this anaesthetic in. I'm like, yeah, I know. Daphne sends me a needle, and Jane says, well done getting through this. Enjoyed the video and the work as always. So we're now coming to the comments on the live stream. As I said, I won't be comprehensive everyone, because there were a number. Kelly says, what a fun live stream. Well, I do try and have a little bit of fun in them and try and make them something that's escapism, I think, for everybody, because they're escapism for me. And, you know, we do have a bit of fun and, you know, a chat and help each other and have the, usually we have the show and tell. But of course, on this last one, we didn't, because She Sleeps needed all of the time to get it finished. But yeah, my live streams I will always try and have a little bit of fun, a bit of a giggle. We'll usually try and talk about something that will get people talking, and of course you guys talking to one another. And I think Andy quite enjoys being a part of them as well. You know, of course, when we have had like taste tests and stuff, Andy quite likes doing things like that. Jane says, congratulations on the finish. Looking forward to seeing it framed in due course. Of course, yeah, absolutely. That framing is going to be something else. It really is. Skipped over a couple of just plain congratulations comments to get to Say Grace, who says, Nicola, congratulations on your She Sleeps finish. She is absolutely amazing and beautiful. Indeed she is. I'm so glad, I've said this before, but I'm so glad that I went for the max colour, because I don't think if I'd have done regular colour, the depth and the detail would have been quite as glorious as it is. The detail, the shading and stuff, the realism of it is quite amazing with the max colour. Kathy says, loved it. What a great way to spend an evening. Glad that you enjoyed your time on the live stream. It's really nice to have so many people. At one point, there were 127 people that were clicked on to my live stream, which is enormous, absolutely enormous. I've never had a stream. I mean, we bust 100, and I was blown away by that. And then, as we were getting ever closer to that last stitch, I happened to glance up and saw there was 127 viewers, which I was just bowled over by. I'm going to park this thread because I'm about to go out of frame. Okay, settings, because I haven't put shortcuts. Oh, I'm getting ready for a wee now. Dear, oh dear. Okay, let's just get that one. And the needle minder. Cool. Okay. Ooh, congratulations. She looks fabulous. That was a great live. Had a great time watching you finish, says Patsy. Valerie is coming in from Down Under saying just beautiful. Cheers from Down Under. Okay, what have I got here? Let's try number 68. Linda says it's a beautiful stitch. And then Andy Crow Stitcher says, wasn't able to catch the live stream, but I watched the replay. Congratulations on the finish. It looks absolutely amazing. Thank you, Andy. I absolutely get that some people are not able to tune in live. So, you know, watching on replay is always there. And of course, we can relive it over and over and over and over again, can't we? Kathy says, beautiful. Congratulations on your finish. I couldn't even see the last 3 stitches. Do you use a magnifier? I only use a magnifier under certain circumstances. Sometimes I find I need it because the stitches are pale colour on pale colour, or like on my Ice Dragon, I've had to use the magnifier on that because even though I've got light over the top and light from underneath to see the holes, it's very difficult to see the holes in even weave, so I do need a magnifier on that one as well. But as a rule, generally speaking, no, I don't use a magnifier. I have varifocal glasses, and yeah, I manage without extra magnification. Some threads coming off here at the side. There we go. Nina comments on my where am I here? On my Flosstube, and she says, I hope it was not getting more painful. Great progress and good luck with your next dental treatment. No, it wasn't painful. It was just awkward because of the numbness more than anything. But no, it's not been painful at all. I was expecting a little pain once the anaesthetic wore off, but I didn't get any. I had actually more pain from the sites of the injections than I did from the actual extraction site. So very strange, but hey, I'll take that. Nobody wants to be in pain, right? Especially poor Hannah today, bless her. Enid sends me a wave, and then the Stitchy Science Technician, Andrea, says, wahoo, I'm stitching your new start. I know your progress will inspire me to carry on. Hope so. Sorry, just grabbing a drink there, because talking makes me dry. Then Kay, who's the Sussex Stitcher, on my Stitch With Me with Night Cafe, she says, banging music choice, Andy. We've been dancing round the kitchen. Yeah, Andy is the maestro of music. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm having a stitchy session and I'm plumbed into YouTube, sometimes I might watch a documentary or a series or, you know, some kind of fiction. But other times I might just put on a music playlist and I don't listen to, you know, tinkly piano music or opera or something that's quiet in the background, ballads, that sort of thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that that is, you know, wrong in any way, shape or form. I listen to something that gets me moving, gets me motivated. 80s music, synth pop, rock music, dance, R&B, soul, Motown. I love a bit of Motown. You know, there isn't a genre that I won't listen to. And there isn't a genre that I won't pick as a stitching accompaniment either. So, you know, the music for me, it's anything goes. So Andy has the standing instruction that as long as he varies the music, anything goes. And I've said to him, you know, it's not nice to be playing the same pieces over and over again. You know, do make sure that you vary it. And I will confess to not listening to my Stitch With Me videos back, so I never know what the music choice is. But, you know, you guys do flag up if he's doing the same old thing, and let me know, which is great. Okay. Michelle Lambert says, bloody hot in Oz. Floods, top end of Victoria, we are melting. 39, 35 and 36 degrees for days. Yeah, I saw a little news report about some Australian school children, and they got floods outside their school, so they just took shoes, socks off and rolled up and off they went. Which I think is wonderful. You know, kids obviously want to get an education, which is great, and you know they're not afraid to roll up their trousers and stuff and just get in there in the water and wade the way through. It's all resilience, isn't it? These squares are starting to fill in now. Joe sends me some smiley faces, and Laurie says, I'm stitching and watching. I had to restart my Jemmy by Haid. Such vibrant colours. This was, of course, on Night Cafe, and Night Cafe does have some lush colours in that. And every time I start a new square, because I don't review the mock-up, I never know what colour's going to come in. I just never know, and that's half the fun of it. Because, you know, when you get to a portion of that where the colour has stopped and it's dark, and then colours are going to restart again, you can tell from Pattern Keeper with the changes of symbol. You just don't know what colour's going to come out. Half of the fun is, you know, what colour's next. I don't think I could do a mystery cell, because I think I would want to know what I'm stitching, because I wouldn't want to put in time and effort stitching something and then you're halfway through and it makes sense what it is, and then we think, I don't really like that. So for me, you know, I try and make considered choices of my patterns. The patterns that I choose, I recognise that I'm in them for the long haul. These are not quick stitches. She Sleeps was 1 year and 10 months and 150,000 stitches. Granted, since sort of summer last year, since Mary Princess was done, she's had all the extra stitches. But, you know, it was still a year and 10 months. Michelle says, well done on live stream, and Redline Handcraft. This is a great fun comment. She says, I think it's a she, apologise if not. She says, it was watching it, it was like waiting for the new year to come. Congratulations. Yeah, that's great fun. Yeah, we all have that anticipation, don't we, for Big Ben striking 12. And yeah, I can see that. I can see the metaphor there, because, you know, we were sort of 10, 9, 8 with stitches kind of thing. Sandy comments on Night Cafe, and she says, this is my favourite. I've loved it from the first one. I've just got Ali Beside the Lake by him, charted by Artisy, kitted by Paine Free Crafts. Don't know when I'll start it yet. A much younger me walked my German Shepherd around the lakes when I lived in Andover and fell in love. Loved the music, Andy. Thanks for sharing. Take care. Happy stitching. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, Afremov pieces are so colourful and vibrant, and I think that's what attracted me to Night Cafe in the first place. And as well as that, I hadn't seen anybody stitching it. And I think even now I've only known of one other person who's stitching it. So it is one of those Afremov pieces that I think, in my opinion, just tend to get a little overlooked. Carla says, congratulations, Nicholas. She really is so beautiful. Yep. Shelley, who is River's Love, says, I had twins. I only wanted to know if it was twins, not the gender. Tech told me without asking that it was twins, and the first was a boy. I told her she may as well tell me the other. And she had 2 boys, identical. I think my mother was fascinated by twins, and I think if my mother would have had more children, she would have tried for a set of twins. I don't know why she was fascinated by them. She just was. Brittany says, hooray for new starts on my One to Rule Them All. If you hadn't mentioned the lisp, I don't think I would have noticed. I'm getting all my tops pulled in 2 weeks, so I know where you're coming from. Yeah, I think it's something that I tend to hear more than anything. And we're all our own worst critics, aren't we? But yeah, I can hear sort of a vague lisp. So yeah, it just shows how much we rely on our teeth for speech. I find that just recently I have to slow down when I'm talking, because if I talk too much, the words come out in all of a jumble and sounds horrific. So I do have to slow down quite a bit. Okay. Let's get that one done, 36. Hooray for, oh, that's one I've just read. Hooray for new starts. I love the Slapped Ham channel. I discovered it through my husband during COVID. So we were having a wee conversation about weird and wonderful YouTube channels. And Brittany has found one called Slapped Ham. And again, she says, congratulations. And Shelley says on my Want to Rule Them All, I love this one. I'm going to enjoy watching you work your magic on it. Beautiful, kid.
May look alright.
Yeah, you look fabulous. She also asks, it doesn't bother you not to have a grid. I need to get used to that. It would open so many doors for me when it comes to fabric choices. I can stitch on gridded or non-gridded as long as I keep control. And, you know, I count twice, stitch once. Oh, Hannah, she's trumping. Count twice, stitch once kind of thing, so that I don't get confused. And, you know, just take great care with counting. But no, having no grid doesn't usually bother me. I have a few pieces now without grids. Ice Dragon is one.
It's good to like what you got on that.
Yeah, the squares chicken. Yeah, that's right. It helps to make sure that you're putting the stitches in the right places.
But you normally just work on plain fabric, don't you? You don't normally work with the squares.
When I've got a kit, it's got gridded fabric in it usually. And some of my pieces are gridded fabric, but it's very pale. So I add in extra grids. I think the bigger the piece, the more essential it is to have a grid, especially if you're going to do extreme cross country or something like that. That was ridiculous. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, and then Joyce says, hi Nicola, you sound just fine. It's not that you have to rename the channel to simply a stitcher. No Sean Connery here, Joyce. Then she says, I also used to count down the hours at work. Yeah, I do that a lot.
I do that sometimes. It's not bad if I go from the room, but when I'm on my own,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always watching it waiting to come home. But like on a Wednesday, fly by when I got Shelley, because Ocean's bloody talk. Honestly, my mouth never stops moving.
She goes on then to say, work does help appreciate the time off and to spend that well. Yeah, I still keep trying to work out how I can retire by 9 AM most days. Thought on your weight loss, your Christmas and birthday binge may have kick-started the metabolism. Yeah, get the motor running after a long time of deprivation. What do you think? Thanks again for your lovely company. Yeah, you could be right there, Joyce, having a bit of cake. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it a binge, but having a bit of cake and what have you might just have kick-started something there. Sunday morning, have my coffee, you're stitching and you stitch with me video. This has to become a regular thing, says Monique. Yep. Sunday mornings are for stitching. They are in this house. Mind you, every morning's a morning for stitching in this house. No difference there, no change there. Andy always says to me, I look weird without stitching in my hand. So, you know, when he says things like that, of course I've got to have stitching in my hand, haven't I? Daphne says things are settled down for her now and back to normal. Working on my one to rule them all as you work on yours. Beautiful. Okay. And then Sunday live stream. So on Sunday, I posed a little question in the live stream and I said, you know, how many of you guys have got a project that you're just not getting progress on for one reason or another? It might be a timeout, it might be a fabric that you don't like, it might be a piece that you've kind of fallen out in love with, but you need to finish it. And we came up with an idea for my Facebook group of something called the single thread thread. Don't forget those other tablets, Hannah. And
I put some cocodamol in my bag.
Okay.
And I took that off Arnold.
Okay.
So I'm just up to this.
Okay. Right. So we came up with this single thread thread. So the idea is that you pick up that piece, and even if you just put in a single thread, the single threads over time add up and make progress. So I started that off in the group, and it's had a very positive response, which is really nice. I just need to count for this stitch, so just bear with me. Okay, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. So if you're not in the Facebook group, there's no better reason to join other than the single thread. And Katie, are you all right checking? Are you off?
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you later on. You finished at 3, yeah?
Yeah.
Straight home?
Yeah, I'll be coming back here to sort dentist out. I
Okay.
might go out afterwards, depending on how I feel, I don't know.
Okay. I'll see you later, darling. Have a good day. Love you. Bye. So Katie, really sorry, says, just watching this morning's live stream. I do have a current project I want done before St. Patrick's Day. I started 1st of Jan. It's an Irish prayer. I only have 2 inches at the bottom to finish, but I'm so tired of green right now. Kind of comes with the territory for Patrick's Day, doesn't it, though? However, I loved your 1 thread challenge, so I'm on for that. I will choose another colourful project from my stash. To treat myself each day, I put another strand in the Irish prayer. How does that sound? Thanks for the idea and encouragement. That sounds perfect to me, Katie, if it works for you. And if you're not in the group, get yourself in there and get posted on that there thread. Kels Bells says, gorgeous work as always. Enjoying seeing your new starts this year on my One to Rule Them All. And then Sharon says, back on the live stream, love the idea of the single thread thread. I have a project that's dormant as I'm using CXC threads in it, which I don't like. I may be tempted to dig this out and get it finished. Yep, that sounds perfect to me, Sharon, because that's the idea of the single thread thread. If you can get progress on something, a single thread, 1 strand of a 25 count is around sort of 60-ish stitches for 1 strand full cross. More if you are conservative, depending on how many stitches you have to move over. So, you know, even if you're just doing 1 strand, you're putting in a good 60 stitches, aren't you? And it doesn't matter whether it's a stitch, a strand, a thread, a couple of threads, you know, whatever. It's all about the progress. Can we get the progress? And encouraging each other to do so. I have to admit to shamelessly stealing the idea. There is a Facebook group called One Strand a Night, which I'm in, but I don't post in very much at all. But yeah, the single thread is kind of our group's own 1 strand a night, isn't it? A little funny comment on my live stream finish of She Sleeps. Michelle says, watching you stitch away while I'm stitching away, and I hear you yell out, hey Sherry, and Siri pops up on my iPad thinking I was talking to her. I have actually had to disable that feature on my devices because if I yell out to my daughter Sarah, Siri gets confused and thinks I'm talking to it and wakes up. Congratulations on finishing She Sleeps. It must be a wonderful feeling to have her finished. Yeah, it certainly is. One thing though that I will say about She Sleeps, obviously I finished her on the Wednesday. Thursday I was like, what am I stitching on? But to be honest, by the time the weekend had come, I was that into my other projects, I'd kind of forgotten about She Sleeps. And I know it sounds awful, because obviously I haven't forgotten about her, but I'd kind of forgotten about stitching on her, if that makes sense, because I got enough to keep me occupied. So with that, that is the last comment, because all of my next comments are on my most recent Flosstube, which I will look at in next week's Chatty Stitch with me. But yeah, it's been a lovely crop of comments, and thank you all for your congratulatory messages on the finish. And yeah, not be long and there'll be another one. Pandemic is gonna get done. And as I said, I'm also working on this model too. I've got quite a lot done on it. It's very sort of blocky stitching, which is nice. But they do want this one back a little bit quicker. So all spare stitches are devoted to that at the moment, nothing on Pandemic. Get my tummy gurgling as usual. So one square of this, even though it's not a complete one, that's now complete. We're heading into the next. And these are quite nice colours, aren't they? Be a bit of an orangey start. I don't know if I've got much else to say today. I don't think there's any other news really. I had to appeal a live stream again. Sunday stream managed to get a limited rating, so I watch for this now. I check it on a Monday morning, so I appealed it straight away. There's nothing in my live streams that's, you know, rude or would prevent somebody from that. I don't, you know, slag anybody off or anything like that. It's just ridiculous. I may share an opinion, which I'm perfectly entitled to do. But, you know, it's just mental sometimes how YouTube decides on an automated system that the video isn't suitable for advertising, yet when a human reviewer then has to listen to it, they have to change it. But yeah, Score 1 for the little man, or woman, as the case may be. That's another partial done. Partial square, that is. It's stitching up quite easily, this one. Quite nice. I like it. Apart from when my thread unthreads. Had a message from my sister this morning. Unfortunately, she's been taken into hospital. She's unwell, and she lives a distance away from me. She lives up in Scotland. I'm not going to go into what's wrong with her, but you know, we'll just be keeping an eye. It's a kind of a bad day for her to end up going in hospital, really. Today it's 12 years since my mum passed away. It was a very funny day, that. Still with my ex-husband when my mum passed, and things were not very good at all between us. It was Pancake Day, I remember that. It was Shrove Tuesday, and 2 days earlier my stepdad had rung and said, "Sending your mum into hospital, she's not very well, I expect she'll be out in a couple of days. Anything to worry about?" No, nothing to worry about. It's breathing difficulties again. She's probably got a chest infection. I'll keep you updated. Okay, no worries. So on the Tuesday, because it was a Tuesday when she died, I have a cousin who is a staff nurse at the hospital. And she rang me up and she said, "I'm working on the ward that your mum's on." I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Dennis said that, you know, she'll probably be coming home." And she went, "I think you need to come in." And at that point, you know, when you hear something like that and the blood drains from your face. And I said to her, you know, immediately I said to her, you know, "What's wrong? Is she dying?" And she said, "Let me put it this way." She says, "I've been walking past your mum all morning and I didn't recognise her." Now, Kathy, her mum, was my mum's sister, and they were quite alike. And I just said to her, "I'll be there in half an hour." Put the phone down and rang a taxi. And I went to the hospital, and my mum was pretty much out of it. I was very worried, very upset. I rang my stepdad and I said, "You need to come in." Because he just sort of carried on with life as normal. He thought that she was okay, and he was told that she was going to be okay. He'd been in the previous day and she'd been all right, but obviously she'd deteriorated. So I rang him and I said, "Come in." And my sister as well, I said, "You need to come in." And I had to come home because I got the girls. The girls were, well, Lauren was 4 at the time, nearly 4. So I had to come home because I got the girls. And I came home and I rang my Auntie Susan, my mum's other sister, and I said, "Mum's not well, she's in hospital." Kathy said she didn't recognise her. You know, we've basically got family up there. And she went, "Right, I'm going." So my Auntie Susan then went to the hospital. I got my ex-husband to pick me up from the hospital, I think. And I said to him, you know, can we call at the shop, because I need to buy some flour. The girls have asked for pancakes for tea. It's pancake day. And I need to buy some flour. He said, yes, no problem. So I went and got some flour, and I came home and I made pancakes. And I think I'd been home about half an hour, 45 minutes. And the phone rang. And I can't remember who it was. I think it was my Auntie Susan. And she said, you need to come to the hospital now. We're coming to fetch you. My Uncle Michael is coming to fetch you. So they came for me because she used to live a few streets away. And she'd been to the hospital and then she'd gone home. And she, you know, and then she said, we're coming to fetch you. So she came to fetch me. And her and Uncle Michael took me to the hospital. I walked in and my mum looked awful. And I could tell then, I mean, I'd worked in care and what have you. And I'm really sorry if this upsets anyone. It's not my intention. And I just knew that she didn't have long left. And she was still able to speak, my mum, and she went, I want John. Now, John is my brother. So, bear in mind, my ex-husband is here with the girls. So I rang my brother's phone. He wasn't answering. Then I remembered him saying that he was going to the gym. And for the life of me, could I think of the gym he went to? So I rang my ex-husband and I said, I need John. I can't get hold of John. He's at the gym. Can you find the number? I couldn't even think of the name of the gym, but luckily for him, my ex-husband knew exactly what I meant. And he said, yep, leave it with me. So he rang the gym and he said to them, from what he said afterwards, he said, I told him it was an emergency. They needed to find him. And he needed to call me immediately. He says, and he said, and he said to him, you need to go to the hospital now. It's your mum. Don't stop. Don't, do anything. Just leave the gym, get in your car, go to the hospital. And to give him his credit, my brother did. Turned up to the hospital in his gym gear, all sweated and what have you, and, And he got to my mother's bedside. And within a few minutes, my mum passed away. It was like she was waiting for my brother to show up. And we were kind of all numb. We were in shock, really. And I can remember coming home and walked in and I looked like a zombie. And my ex-husband knew because I'd already phoned him and told him my mum's gone. And I walked in and he looked at me and I just broke down. I absolutely broke down. It completely broke me. I had to tell the girls that the nana had passed away, that she'd gone to heaven. And the girls were really upset because they were all quite close to the nana. And no matter how much time passes, it doesn't get easier. You grow around when somebody passes away. Your grief still stays the same. You just grow around your grief. I think of my mum every day. I wish she was here every day. I long to talk to her every day, but obviously I can't do that. I can do it so in my mind and in my heart, but I can't physically. And I just have to hold on to that she has a grave that I can go and visit, but she's not there. Her body's there, her remains are there. She is in my mind and she is in my heart. And that's the way I carry on. But yeah, the 12th of February is, I know it's not 12th when you're watching this, but the 12th of February is very much a red letter day in our calendar, because it's the day that my mum left us. And then a few months later, in the June, my dad passed away. So 2013, you know, when I was saying about how 20 years was quite tough, I got 3 children. I was a stay-at-home mum of 3. I had quite a lot of worry because of Hannah and her autism. Looking after the children was hard. My ex-husband was not terribly supportive in that respect. He loved his kids, don't get me wrong, but he didn't really know what to do, if that makes sense. My marriage broke down about 2 months after my mum died. So 2013, I lost my mum, my marriage broke down, and then I lost my dad. But Andy came into my life, for which I am eternally thankful for, because he absolutely made it better. I can remember him coming here not long after my mum had died, and he said, I want to come over and see you. And I said, okay. We weren't together at this point, we were just friends. Because at this point, I was still married to my ex-husband and, you know, trying to make it work. And while he was here, the phone rang, and it was my best friend. And she says, we just got the arrangements in place for my mum's funeral. And she rang and she said, I won't be able to come to your mum's funeral next week. And I said, why? You know, I could hear something in her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. And her husband had passed away suddenly, the week after my mum. So she couldn't come to my mum's funeral because she'd be busy arranging her husband's. And I was just, it was horrific. So I'd lost my mum, my best friend had lost her husband, my marriage had broke down, and then I lost my dad. So 2013 was my annus horribilis, to coin a phrase from our late Queen. A lot of death and a lot of grief in one way or another, because I never wanted my marriage to end, but of course it did. And you can't plan for that kind of thing. It happens. But yeah, 2013 was a tough year. But I got with Andy, and then things started to get better and stronger. I went back to work, began to develop again me as a person rather than me as a mum, because for a lot of years I'd been a mum and that was it. I dedicated 12 years or more just bringing up the girls, and now I needed to find me, but I knew I also had a fight on my hands to support the girls and to see them through their lives, which I did. And I fought tooth and nail, and I had Andy at the side of me, and we made it a success. Then it took a few years, but in 2018 I got the job that I have now, which gave me a huge security. And I think I'm held in good standing at work, which is nice. The people there have a respect for me. They know that I know what I'm doing. They can come to me for problem solving. They can ask me anything. What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to say no. But yeah, I wish my mum was here to see that, to see that my life has changed for the better, that I'm so much happier, that Andy has walked in and made a huge difference. To to see the person I've become. But of course she's not, and that's difficult, that's hard. Every day I think of her. But yeah, I'll keep her in my heart. Oh, I need a drink, but I need a wee. Oh dear. Yes, so I've only got a few minutes of this stitch with me left. Going to get probably the thick end of 350 stitches, which is a nice little start. It's ironic really, because I'm stitching using orange. My mother always hated the colour orange. My mum had this little quirk with the colour orange. She said she didn't like it because seeing the colour orange used to make her bad-tempered, which I always thought was quite funny. But my mum used to love that cross-stitched. She used to love that I knitted and sewed and stitched. She did crewel work, crewel embroidery. She did decoupage and card making herself. And she knitted a lot, my mum. And when I was a little girl, I remember her doing dressmaking. So it's probably where I picked it up, the crafty bug, from. Her and my Auntie Susan, because my Auntie Susan, she was also a knitter. I don't know about dressmaking, but my Auntie Susan used to stitch a lot of hard hanger. She used to do a lot of hard hanger embroidery, from what I understand. But Auntie Susan is an incredible card maker. And she's also done things like make bags. Now, not project bags, actual like tote bags. Yeah, she's very talented with most things that she turns her hand to. She's a creative soul. And my Auntie Linda, my late Auntie Linda, so we've got the three sisters there. My late Auntie Linda was a very talented cake maker. She'd make wedding cakes and things, and she could do all the fancy icing and stuff, which is amazing. You know, some of her work was utterly amazing. My mum was married 3 times, and I know that she made, obviously, the last wedding cake, because I went and collected it. But I believe she made the other 2 as well. And I can remember Auntie Linda saying to me, "Tell your mother I'm not making a 4th wedding cake," which amused me. And I went, "Yeah, no problem, I'll let her know." Oh, my goodness, excuse me. Let me just do a mark off, and I'm going to round up this video because I am absolutely bursting now for the loo. So yeah, just short of 350 there, 347 stitches, which is not a bad start for an hour and a half's work. So I'm going to end this video with my usual reminders. 3 videos will be coming up on your screen in a moment. If you've not seen those, please take a few minutes to have a look. I release my Flosstube on Tuesdays, Stitch With Me Thursdays and Saturdays, and a live stream on Wednesdays and Sundays at 7:30 p.m. UK time. My Wednesday live stream features Focus for a Finish, which is now Pandemic, and my Sunday live stream will feature this piece this week, but going forward, if I have a new start, that will be featured on the Sunday stream. So in the description box below, you will find all of the information relating to all of my projects, plus other links such as my Facebook group and my Buy Me a Coffee link should you feel so inclined. But really, all that's left to say is thank you all very much indeed for watching, for your kind thoughts and your kind comments. It really is truly appreciated. I'm going to go because I really need a wee. So take care, happy stitching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.